Let's go. Lock in. We at the fucking finish-ish line of at least the fragments. Okay. So, wait. No. Okay, it's this one. Hi. Wanna sit on my lap, baby?
いえいえ、届けなんていりません。
Where you going? Where you going?
サトシ君は我がひなみ沢ファイターズの頼もしい選手なんですからね。席はちゃんと開けてあります。いつでも戻ってきていいんですからね。
Stop licking my arm, Tori.
わかりません。当分は戻ってこれないと思うので、一度退部にしてもらった方がいいと思いまして。
Satoshi-kun says he wants to quit the Hinamizawa fighters. I know very well of Satoshi-kun and Satoko-chan's situation. So I was expecting that he might say this. The relationship between Satoko-chan and her aunt has gotten worse, to the point that it can be considered abuse. When someone from the child consultation center came, of course her aunt behaved herself. Then immediately after, her harassment turned even more vicious. According to the neighbors, the aunt's scolding and Satoko-chan's crying can be heard nightly, and sometimes it goes on past midnight. Satoko-chan's weekly physical checkup results are slowly growing worse, and we're trying to keep her stable by increasing her medication. But unless her relationship with her aunt improves, she's sure to go terminal and sink into madness. Although she isn't the type to become deranged, even at the terminal stage, she's the type who holds everything in, harboring her insanity inside. Just like she pushed her parents off the cliff 2 years ago, Satoko-chan may kill her aunt. Thanks to the mountain dogs, the incident was resolved as an accident, and Oishi stepped aside, although he is still suspicious. If something like that happens again around Satoko-chan, he's sure to investigate her mercilessly. I can't do anything more about Satoko-chan's environment changing for worse. So I'm not surprised to hear that Satoshi-kun wants to quit the baseball team so he can be with his sister more.
実は僕、アルバイトを始めるんです。それで、あまり野球に出られなくて。
アルバイトですか。何か買いたいものでもあるんですか。
はい。
A house.
もうすぐ、サトコの誕生日なんです。
The fucking present.
サトコが欲しがっているぬいぐるみがあるので、それをプレゼントしてやりたいと思いまして。
That's right. I remember the birthday on her insurance card. I think it's June 24th, right after the Watanagashi
そうです
festival.
か。
Convenient timing.
サトシ君は本当に妹思いのお兄さんですね。それはきっとサトコちゃんも喜んでくれるでしょう。
喜んでくれると嬉しいです。
I can tell Satoshi-kun is also stressed out. To him, seeing Satoko-chan being harassed is the same thing as being harassed himself. His stress can be released through moderate exercise, such as with sports, and also with plenty of rest. If Satoko-chan is being yelled at nightly, then it's easy to figure out that Satoshi-kun isn't getting enough sleep either. I don't know what kind of job he's starting, but I don't think he will be able to vent his stress on it. In fact, I don't like the idea of Satoshi-kun taking a part-time job because he's already so worn out in every way. I asked him if he wanted me to help him pay for the present, but of course he declined the offer. It's a present from him, so he wants to earn the money himself. He's taking his part-time job only to earn enough money to buy Satoko-chan's present, so it'll be a temporary thing. If it's for a short period, maybe it won't be that bad. While I want to stop him from working because I don't want him to get even more stressed, since he says Satoko-chan's birthday is near, I don't think I can stop him. Satoshi-kun is determined. If I say any more, I may lose his trust. So I'll have to accept his leave of absence.
そうだ、監督。
Oh?
バットを一本借りていってもいいですか。
I completely misunderstood his words. Later, I found out he carried around that bat to protect himself. And realized that even then, he was already showing some dangerous symptoms. He believed there would be a fourth mysterious death this year and that he would be the victim. He became obsessed with the idea that someone was after his life. That is a symptom of Hinazawa syndrome's terminal stage. But although I was involved so deeply with the syndrome, I was careless.
バットですか？はて、何に使うんですか？
Satoshi-kun had his own bat. So he should have asked if he could take it home, but instead he asked if he could borrow it. When I think about it now, he said it that way to lighten his guilty conscience. But how could I have known then?
いえ、野球にはそんなに来れなくなりますけど、でもきっと一人で素振りの練習をするくらいの時間は取れると思うので。
それはいいですね。そういうことならぜひ持って行ってください。素振りをするときは十分周りを確認して危険がないよう注意してからやってくださいね。ご近所迷惑でなければタイヤを吊るしてそれを打つのもいい練習になるでしょう。
Swinging a bat can release stress. So letting him take his bat home will help. That's what I thought. But that was a huge mistake. I realized it only when things were already past the point of no return. Oh well, we got the bat. It's time to kill Satoko's fucking aunt. We were prepared to respond quickly this year. That was why we were able to start the investigation immediately by securing the crime scene. The victim is the wife of the younger brother of the Hojo couple. So she's an extremely suitable target for the fourth year's curse of Oyashiro-sama. She has a horrible reputation among the locals. After the incident, everyone said she deserved to be cursed. I have a general idea of who the culprit must be. It's probably Satoshi Hojo, that innocent-looking kid. There's even a motive. The deceased abused his sister relentlessly, so this would be in revenge for that. Also, when he attended the inspection of the crime scene, he was rather frantic, yet also far too composed, as if he was totally unrelated to the incident. My intuition from many years of police work tells me that 8 or 9 times out of 10, someone who acts like this is the perp. I have no concrete proof, but if I question him and shake him up a bit, I have a feeling he'll confess.
これだけ仏をめった打ちにしていれば、星も返り血を少なからず浴びたものと思います。そいつが見つけられれば決め手になりそうですね。
まあよっぽどの間抜けでなけりゃ処分してるでしょうがね。犯行を認めた後に捨てたと称する場所から発見できれば検察も納得してくれるでしょう。
This is pretty insignificant as a standalone case. A confession from Satoshi Hojo would end it. Everyone except me must believe that. But if I look at it as a part of a series of mysterious deaths, it won't be so easy. Either the 3 families of the village or the Sonozaki family alone is directly involved in this. If they are the ones pulling the strings, they must have instigated Satoshi Hojo into committing this crime. If so, Satoshi Hojo is someone who knows way too much about them. The Sonozaki family's actions must remain hidden. If he could connect them to the crime, would they let him run around freely? Satoshi Hojo is a loving brother who cares very much for his sister, and they set him up to kill his aunt as a 4th year's curse. After that, they will eliminate the one person who can connect them to the crime. Satoshi Hojo is not just a simple criminal. He was set up. Oh my god, Oishi, you fucking idiot. And after that, my suspicions were confirmed, for he abruptly vanished. He disappeared in such a puzzling way. He didn't run because he was afraid that his crime had come to light. Another culprit came into the picture. He was already arrested for a different crime, and furthermore, he died while in prison. He confessed to information only the culprit himself would have known. Therefore, he must be the culprit. But as he's already dead, the investigation was closed. Then Satoshi Hojo disappeared a few days after the festival. It's obvious someone doesn't want Satoshi Hojo to be connected to this incident. My boss put pressure on me to close the investigation and to file Satoshi Hojo's disappearance as a separate incident. He even handed the case over to a different section. Hey, I got chips left over from yesterday. The way this case is closing so rapidly greatly resembles the same trick used 2 years ago with the Hojo couple's accident. There's no doubt it's the work of someone who can put pressure on the police. Chips plus guac? No, it's just chips. As it happens, the Sonzaka family is the only one who can actually exact influence on the police department here in Himizawa area. They may think their trails are covered, but this points towards them more clearly than anything. According to my informant, Oryu Sonozaki mentioned the 4th year's curse at the family meeting and hinted that she was the one behind it all. Hinting isn't strong enough evidence, but there's no mistaking that Oryu Sonozaki is the one pulling the strings. I know they're the ones who did in the old man, but I just can't grab them. The principal offender is still on the loose, but I'm sure he's being sheltered somewhere by the Sonozaki family. I have to locate him and find that missing right arm. I'll return the arm to his grave and make the principal offender and the masterminds both bow down before it. However, just like how Satoshi Hojo disappeared, it's possible the principal offender has already been eliminated. I bet he's already been killed and buried somewhere nobody can find. If that's the case, then that's fine. I'll make the old hag who ordered someone to kill the old man slam her forehead on the ground before his grave. This I swear. After 4th year's curse, people are already saying something will happen again next year. Even with all my preparation, I couldn't prevent the incident from happening this time. It's too late if something happens. I must keep my eyes on the core of the village before something takes place. There's a reason why I have to get to the bottom of this by next year. Because I'm retiring. My mother has been wanting to go back to her hometown in Hokkaido. For a long time, she's been asking me to move there when I retire. I feel that's the least I can do for her, so I agreed to move to Hokkaido when I retire. So next year is my last chance to avenge the old man's death. It happened 4 years in a row. So more than likely, there will be a 5th curse too. As a result of the series of mysterious deaths, the village has been tightly knit together since the dam protests. They were told that betrayers will be punished in the name of the curse. They're the masterminds, that's enough reason to continue with the series of mysterious deaths. According to the rumors, this year's victim, the aunt, was cursed because she didn't participate in the Watanagashi festival. So there are villagers who believe that if they don't participate in next year's Watanagashi, they'll be cursed. It'll be a huge festival next year for sure. Something will happen. The series of mysterious deaths in Hinamizawa, also known as the Curse of Oyoshiro-sama. I will avenge the old man. I definitely will. CZN added another hour maintenance? Chat, get the clip. Hey, get the clip. What did I say? Come on, are you gonna stay up for CZN? What did I say? Those motherfuckers have not been on time on a fucking maintenance once in their lives, alright? The village was in an uproar. Because the 4th mysterious death in a row, which everyone believed would happen, actually did. Satoko-chan's aunt was killed. All the villagers feel rather satisfied about this incident, saying the curse finally fell on her for being a local troublemaker. But I know the truth. When I saw the beaten up body at the crime scene, I knew Satoshi-kun was responsible for it. Her abuse towards Satoko-chan was getting worse and worse. Satoshi-kun wanted to protect her, so he brought home a baseball bat. All the signs were there, so I didn't even need to hear from Satoshi-kun. Yet I couldn't avoid questioning myself. I felt bad for the Hojo siblings, who had no one on their side, so I tried to be their ally. In the end, I failed to be any help to them. The phone rang. It was Satoshi-kun. He's never called me before. What happened? Does he want me to help him? If so, I will. I truly feel that way.
監督ですか。お仕事中にすみませんでした。
いえいえ、気になさらないでください。 どうかなさいましたか？
あの車を持っている人が他に思いつかなかったんで。
車ですか？
Maybe Satoshi was disappeared because he actually didn't kill the aunt, but wanted to escape Hinamizawa with Satoko. And Takano couldn't let that happen, so kidnapped his ass.
ええ。
実は今ミオンのおじさんのおもちゃ屋じゃなくて、
ああ、わか。
それでサトコの誕生日プレゼントの大きくって
大きくって。サトシ君。
I guess he didn't think about it and went to the toy store on his bicycle. Now he's stuck. That's so typical of him. I can't help but smile warmly. In other words, he can't carry both the bicycle and the teddy bear, so he wants me to come pick him up. I told him I'd be right over and headed to the toy store in Okonomiya. When I got there, I found that the teddy bear he bought is a lot bigger than I imagined.
これ。大きいですね。確かにこれじゃ自転車は無理でしょう。
The teddy bear is so big that Satoshi-kun can hardly wrap his arms around it. If he puts it on his lap in the passenger seat, he won't be able to see anything. We loaded the bicycle in the back seat and stuffed the teddy bear in the trunk.
しかし、これだけの大きなぬいぐるみともなると高かったでしょう。
ええ、まあそこそこね。
At first, I thought he was sweating because of the heat, but he's acting oddly, as if he has a high fever and his consciousness is coming and going.
どう具合でも悪いんですか？
多分、いえ、風邪です。
それはよくありませんね。診療所に寄っていきませんか？具合を見てあげましょう。
Oh no, he's gotta be L5.
ありがとうございます。
When he called ill earlier, he didn't sound this way. Did he become ill all of a sudden?
どうぞリクライニングを倒して楽にしてください。冷房が強すぎませんか？大丈夫ですか
？His face is turning pale. I can tell he has a high fever. Satoshi-kun was pushing himself to buy this teddy bear. A teddy bear this size can't be that cheap. For him to earn enough money in such a short period of time, he must have worked hard and long hours. Maybe he felt relieved now that he got the teddy bear he had wanted to buy. It's not unusual for a person to collapse after reaching his big goal.
しかしよく頑張りましたね。こんなにも大きなぬいぐるみを。さとこちゃんきっと喜ぶと思いますよ。
喜んで欲しいです。
喜びますよ。私が保証しちゃいます。
もうおばさんもいない。おじさんも帰ってこない。もうこれで貞子をいじめる人はいないんですよね。
そうですね。もうさとこちゃんをいじめる人はいません。だからこれからはゆっくりと過ごしていいんです。
おばさんはいないんですよね。死んだんですもんね。
はい、確かに死にました。検視には私も立ち会っています。間違いありませんよ。だからもう二度とさとこちゃんをいじめたりはしません。
本当におばさんが死んでるの？ 確認したんですね。
はい、間違いなく。
じゃあたまに通りすがるおばさんにそっくりな人がいても、それはおばさんじゃないんですよね。
Uh-oh. He's saying shit.
おばさんが実は生きてて退院してきたとか、そういうんじゃないんですよね。
ええ、そんなことはありえません。二度と私たちの前に現れることはありませんよ。
じゃああの人、あれもよく似てるけどおばさんじゃないんですよね。ですよね。
Uh-oh. Satsuki-kun pointed at the oncoming car in fear. Of course, the car passed by so quickly that I couldn't see her face. No matter how much she looks like her, it's impossible for her to be alive.
ほら、あの人もあんなにそっくりで歌って僕を見。
落ち着いてください、サトシ君。おばさんは完全に死にまったから、どんなに似ていてもそれはおばさんではありません。
似てる似てる。いや違う、本当におばさんなの。あんなに殺したのに、あんなに殴ったのに。
Oh, well, Satoshi did do it.
なんで。
I can only try to stay calm and drive. Satoshi-kun is losing his cool. He's delusional. He's seeing his aunt coming back from the dead. Then I finally realize Satoshi-kun is displaying symptoms of the terminal stage. I need to examine him once I get to the clinic. It's different from Satoko-chan's case. We already have the cure. We can treat Satoshi-kun. If I talk to the mountain dogs, they'll take care of the murder of his aunt. So I can both save him from going terminal and give him back his peaceful days with Satoko-chan. He was deranged until just a minute ago, but now he's gone quiet. He didn't fall asleep. I must get to the clinic while Satoshi-kun remains in this calm state. There's no guarantee that he won't attack me while I'm driving. As if he knows what is going through my mind, Satoshi-kun spoke to me quietly.
監督、これってやっぱりお社様のたたりなんでしょうか。
たたりなんかありません。どうか気を強く持ってください。
里子、ごめん。
Oh no, bro. Does he rip his own throat out?
ぬいぐるみを買う直前まで僕はそのお金でどこか遠くに逃げてしまおうって思ってたんだ。だからそんな僕をお社様は許さなかったんだ。僕は兄失格なんだ。僕は
無理に喋らなくていいですよ。まぶたを閉じて休んでいてください。すぐに診療所に着きますからね。
Drive faster, EDA!
そうしたら具合。
僕の血の中にもウジ虫が湧いてるのかな。かゆい。
書かないで。喉をかいてはいけません。
We arrived at the back door to the clinic. I slammed the brakes and stopped the car. Satoshi-kun has already started to claw at his throat. I can't stop him by myself. I asked for some help through the intercom. Some staff members came out immediately. Maybe Satoshi-kun was surprised to see so many people at once because he started to resist. I don't even need to run tests. He's at L5. He's reached the terminal stage and his thoughts must be filled with delusions. Maybe he thinks that the staff members want to kill him. The staff members pinned his arms and legs down and gave him a shot to put him to sleep.
監督、助けて。
大丈夫ですよ。すぐに治療しますから。しばらくの間楽にしていてください。
Maybe the medicine didn't work.
里子、お願い。
Please take care of Satoko. After saying those words, he fell unconscious.
あらあら、騒がしいと思ったら。
サトシ君が急性発症したようです。彼の日頃のストレスを考えれば、いつ発症しても、いや、ぬいぐるみを買うまで自制し。
なんだか毎年綿流しになると生きた検体が手に入りますわね。これもお社様のたたりのおかげなのかしら。
I don't have time to listen to her nonsense. Just called her a stupid bitch. Okay, so what happened to Satoshi? I don't have the Ryugu family's move. We have the tea set on the veranda, but we don't have Keiichi's dad. Is it this? Okay. When did we finish the medicine? Oh, I guess we did. Yeah, it's a cure. I'm fucking stupid. I was getting confused with the code numbers.
いえいえ、もうさっぱりです。年は取りたくないもんですな。
クレイやるときは集中してやらないとダメだよ。あんまり間を空けすぎると勘が鈍っちゃって意味ない。
先生、ご紹介します。高野さんさです。
はじめまして。本日はお忙しい中、お時間をお割きくださいましてありがとうございます。
ああ、別に君のために時間を割いたわけじゃない。うまい生ウニが食わせてもらえるって話でね。
Okay, there's the raw sea urchin.
ウニはいいんだよ君。ビタミン A が豊富でね。お肌に特にいいんだとか。女性は大好きでしょ、ウニ。
It is true that sea urchins are rich in vitamin A, but compared to spinach, it's not anything that's worth making a fuss about. Well, none of that matters right now. He just seemed like an unpleasant man, so I wanted to criticize him. These men are the directors of the Alphabet Project who control the funding for the EDA Institute. They are also people who are in the position of being able to offer their opinion to those directors. To put it in a simpler way, they are the new owners of the EDA Institute. Although not as much as Uncle Koizumi was, they are also leaders and influencers in various fields. I have to be very careful not to upset them. And therefore, there's no way I would have had the ability to call them in. By using the influence that the Koizumi faction once had, I finally managed to get this chance. Uncle Koizumi, who gave me his full support and made everything go my way, is not here anymore. I'm on my own from this point on, and I will open a path. But this stage just doesn't belong to me today. I can't let the people who offered me this chance lose face, so I have to wait patiently until it's my turn. My primary objective today is to explain what a prominent research subject the Hinamizawa syndrome is, and acquire indefinite extension for our research. They only ever think about money, so they aren't even realizing the hidden potential of Hinamizawa syndrome. They don't recognize that it's worth spending a lot of money on. This is not mere research on the existence of an unknown parasite, but something that may overthrow the basic foundation of anthropology. A Nobel Prize won't even be enough. It won't be easy trying to explain all that to men who know nothing about any of it, but I have to. That's why I spent many hours making these straightforward support documents. Sometimes we make documents confusing on purpose because we don't like dealing with uneducated people, but this time it's different. I can't look down at them. I must sincerely try to make them understand. The accessible support documents are there in a huge pile. It feels like we're wasting time eating traditional Japanese food in such a relaxed mood. I want to get to the point and explain to them in detail so they can understand. But there is the saying, luck lies in the last helping. I have to be patient right now.
正直ね、これまでのアルファベットはあまり良くないと思うのです。結局こいつは未だ頭の中が時代遅れの年寄りどものね、お砂場。
年寄りどもが自分のじゃない金で過去の栄光を取り戻す夢を描くお砂場です。 そんな年寄りどもの妄想のために一体どれだけの公金が垂れ流されたやら。
聞いた話じゃ、奥野先生あたりが検察をつっついて旧理事会を横領で追わせてるらしいですな。
年寄りたちをよいしょしてうまい汁を吸っていた連中の末路ですな。もっとも表沙汰にはできんでしょうから、別件で隕石左遷といった形になるんでしょうが、いやはや、これも戦前の亡霊をずっと野放しにしていた日本のツケですな。いやー、この野球にの汁もたまらない。
Grilled uni. I don't think I've ever had grilled uni.
これは手厳しい。そんな中で先生にこんなお願いをするのは非常になんですが、一つお時間を頂戴できればと思いまして。
入江機関さんでしたっけ。確か長野だか岐阜の方で風土病の研究をされてるんでしたな。どういうことになってましたっけ。
理事会の決定で軍事転用研究が中止に。あと研究そのものも3年以内に段階的終了に決定しています。ああ、いえ、これは継続協議中でした。まあ、そのいずれにしましても数年以内に閉鎖になる予定です。
おお、思い出した思い出した。入江機関さんは旧理事会でも評判が悪かったみたいですな。何しろ莫大な予算をほとんど無審査で吸い取ってましたからね。
某大先生がどういうわけか、このプロジェクトをやたら後押しされてたみたいでしてね。その絡みもあって結局誰も文句が言えずに放置されてきたってのが実際のようです。
まあでもな、もう大先生は女癖が悪かったからそれもあったのかもしれませんな。
See, implying that I slept with Uncle Koizumi? He's insulting both of us, but I held my anger in. I can't let myself be bothered by something like this.
それで本日は当機関の研究内容について説明させていただき、当機関に対する理事会の決定についてどうかご再考をお願いしたいと思いましてお時間を頂戴させていただきました。本日はこのような場へご多忙な中お越しいただきましたことを深く御礼申し上げます。
Say how you truly feel, Takano.
ま、ただでウニが出てくるわけはないってことですな。
I explained to them how much this Hinamazawa syndrome mattered, while being very careful not to go too fast. I tried to let them know that the syndrome's potential is not limited to small things like military applications, but is much more meaningful than that. It may explain ideology and religion. It may even shake the very definition of a human being. I took my time to explain as slowly and clearly as possible. I'm not confident that all of it had gotten through to those boorish men, but I'm happy if they understood even just a part of it. As long as they understand how much of a magnificent discovery Hinamazawa syndrome really is. Nope, they're gonna laugh at her just like they did to her grandpa.
ありがとうサンサ。
お。
ちょっと検討したいのでサンサには一度下がってもらってよろしいですかな。
Oh shit.
はい、それでは失礼させていただきます。
Obviously, they can't discuss in front of me. I left all the documents with them. All I could do now was hope they reviewed them favorably. They're gonna walk all over them. I left the room and closed the sliding door. The room next door is a preparation room, so I was to head there, but I stopped. I shouldn't have done it, but I tried to listen in through the sliding door. Uh-oh.
こりゃあなんと言いますか。 全理事の皆さんも気の毒としか言いようがありませんな。
いやー小泉先生がですね、非常に強く押されていまして。
小泉先生にはローベル製薬日本法人の初代顧問に就任された時に一度お会いし、とても聡明な方だなという印象を強く持っていたのですが、
人間年には勝てないということですな。何事も引き際が肝心だと思い知らされますよ。
ただですね、ひなみ沢症候群という非常に珍しい病気があるのは事実でございまして、決して全てが全て妄想というわけではありませんでして。
入江機関はすでに病気の解明と治療薬の開発に成功しているというじゃありませんか。それで十分ですよ。
現代日本にとって周辺諸国を過敏にさせる件については厳に慎むべきです。中でも軍事分野は最も敏感と言えるでしょう。少なくとも数年間にわたり軍事目的の研究がされていた事実は直ちに抹消しなくてはなりません。
それは軍事研究の中止とは別に。
そうです。ひなみ沢症候群は生物兵器開発のための研究という事実は直ちに研究を中止したとしても残ります。ひなみ沢症候群を目的は何であれ研究した事実は厳重に隠蔽されなければなりません。できればひなみ沢症候群そのものがなくなってしまうのが好ましい
ですな。病気が残ればやがては関心を持つ者が現れ、せっかく埋めた穴をわざわざ掘り返す輩が現れないとも限りません。理事会の決定通り、入江機関は病気を撲滅させ次第、研究の痕跡を全て消した上で解散させるのがいいでしょ
う。やはりそういう結論に行き着きますな。ノーベル賞が取れるかどうかが問題ではなく、戦後日本にとって無用な研究だということです。そもそも大昔から存在し、特に異常もなくやってこれたわけでしょ。やぶをつっつく研究なのではと当初から思っていました。
同感です。ひなみ沢症候群という病気の
So
存在自
Takano
体は
killed
疑わ
over
ないが、
2,000 people because our
この
fucking
高野
grandpa's
という
research
第
got
一発
fucking
見者は
ignored by a bunch of
少
fucking
々この病気
bureaucrats
を脚色しすぎですな。
just to fucking make a point.
私も資料を読みながらユニークな発想をする人
Why
だ
would
なと
Takano want to
思って
destroy
お
the
りま
village
した。
though? It would be the only way to make it like actually provable that there was something here, you know? Because if it went the way that these congressmen are saying, then it would have ended up that there was actually never anything, right? It would have everything she and her grandfather worked on would just go into like the abyss, and nobody would fucking know. So she exploded the village to basically have something to be like proof that it existed.
第一、寄生虫で人の思想が染まるなんて聞いたことがない。そりゃいくらなんでもひどすぎる。
If we tried to explain religions with this, then Buddha, Christ, all those people would be, what was it again? Queen carriers? If we tried exposing something like this, we'd be attacked by every nation on the planet. Religion is pretty scary nowadays. Wahahaha!
動物の脳に寄生する寄生虫がいるなら、たまには人間の脳に寄生する寄生虫がいてもいいとは思う。しかし、その寄生虫が思想や人格までもコントロールする可能性なんてのはさすがにこりゃちょっとユニークすぎます。
As I peeked in through the gap in a sliding door, I became trapped within an unbelievable sense of deja vu. This is my first time experiencing this, but it doesn't feel that way. I don't know why, but the memory is so sad and so painful. Huh? Why tears? Before I realized it, I saw a very nostalgic carpeted room on the other side of the sliding door instead of a room covered in tatami mats. The room is filled with the smell of dust mixed with the smell of some evaporated medicine, but it's very soothing to me just the same. And there is my grandfather. His article that he poured his heart into was made a mockery of, yet he wasn't even allowed to cry. This isn't a delusion, because within the documents I left with those men, there are a lot of references to the article my grandfather wrote. So I'm not surprised for my grandfather to be standing right there explaining it to them himself. Together with my tears from seeing the sight of my beloved grandfather, I watched these men insult and belittle his masterpiece. I have seen this sight before, and the sight should have ended there, but why is it repeating before my eyes? I can only blankly peek through the sliding doors at this strange world where reality and illusion overlap.
あのサンサもちょいとおかしいし、こんな世まいごとを信じた小泉先生もおかしいが、やはりこの第一発見者の論文が一番おかしいですな。
shit.
期待と妄想が入り混じっていて、これは論文というより創作の次元ですな。というか、これはこのままどこかの出版社に持ち込んで本にした方がウケると思いますよ。
確かに確かに。私の友人に出版社の社長をやってるのがいてね。きっと面白がって読んでくれると思いますよ。
笑い事ではありませんぞ。このとんでもない研究がまかり通って、特にひどいのは万一の場合に備えて相当危険な機材を用意しているという点です。これは絶対に国民に知られてはならないことです。
計画が存在しただけでも恐ろしいのに、終末作戦なんて緊急措置の存在を知られてしまったら、国外はおろか、しかもその機材の維持費がすごいことになってるじゃないか。
そんなの本当に維持費にしてるわけないじゃないですか。そういう名目にしてトンネルしてる架空プロジェクトでしょ、どうせ。
大体何でしたっけ。少女が一人死ぬだけで村人が一斉に異常行動を起こす病気なんて、あなた
まったくこんな子供騙しを鵜呑みにして巨額の予算を垂れ流すとはつくづくいかんと思いますな。こんな資料を真に受ける連中がいるというんだから、実にバカバカしいことです。
Damn, they're getting cooked. As he said that, he placed the document down with an exaggerated gesture. Actually, I should say he slammed them down, because the papers ended up scattered all over the floor.
ですよな。
Ooh, they're gonna step on him.
ちょいと失礼。お手洗いに。
One of the men stood up and stepped on the papers. And they weren't the papers on the tatami mats, but the ones on the carpet. Right there, I can see my grandfather filled with heart-rending sadness. Yet he can't let it show on his face. Grandfather's expression didn't change, yet it seemed distorted to me. I could see the walls of my grandfather's study crumpling and twisting behind him. I jumped into the room. I grabbed onto the man's leg. I don't hate him. No, it's not whether I hate him or not. Sure, I hate him, but that's not it. I just can't forgive the feet stepping on my grandfather's article.
踏まないで踏まないで、おじいちゃんが頑張って書いたんだから、足で踏んだりしないで。
Holy shit, grown-ass woman. Saying my grandpa wrote these.
あ、失礼。
Grown-ass woman grabbing onto a congressman's leg like that. Come on. Takano. Minus 5 million aura. Those feet are still stepping on the papers. I tried to make them move, but they won't even budge, as though they've grown roots. So I begged as I grabbed onto his legs. I tried to pull the papers from under his feet, but I can't move his feet. I can't pull out the papers.
踏まないで踏まないで、おじいちゃんの。
Oh my god. Bro, I'm gonna be honest. If I were these congressmen, I'd be like, yo, okay, get her the fuck out of this position. We need to fucking cut this shit off. She's a psycho. My sobbing echoed in that silent room just like it did back then. Oh my god, bro. She lost, bro, Takano lost all the aura she built up. Holy moly. Yikes. That was a little, ooh. What aura? Bro, she tries to be this whole mysterious, like, smart fucking femme fatale character, but then she just fucking turned into a goo goo gaga baby. Oh my god, we got a last slide fragment. Ooh. Grandfather's articles were trampled on. We have proof as clear as the pathogen causing Higurashi syndrome, so why can't they believe in its life cycle? Because they've never heard of that before. Because they can't imagine it. Because there's no way something so absurd. My fucking dinner got... I'm like, where's my dinner? It got fucking canceled. What the fuck do you mean? My fucking food, man. My food. Oh my god, bro. This bitch Takano ate my food. Nah. Oh, Lily messaged me 50 minutes ago that it got canceled. I didn't fucking know. Oh my god. No. Fuck's sakes, man. Now I'm just homeless. Bob participating in Ramadan? Shut up. Ain't no way, man. That's not, there ain't shit open right now. I'm so sad. What's the point, chat? What's the point? Hold up. Why is that worth $5 million? Bro, this music is making me fucking... Alright. Taco Bell is Baja Blast Pie. I am not eating Taco Bell, you fat fuck! Because there's no way something so absurd could be true. Don't tell me that. I can't bring myself to care about the limits of those commoners' understanding. Why can't anyone believe the truth of my grandfather's article, which has been proven by the Idiot Institute? Why do people continue to believe that humans are a special existence? Humans are simply a species of animal. When various parasites that control their animal hosts exist, how can people declare parasites that use humans as their hosts don't? Wait, this isn't a problem. Not at all. Because everyone believed my grandfather's article up until now. Isn't that why the Ministry of Health and the Defense Agency lent me their assistance? But out of nowhere, they turned cold. In other words, every bit of their help was because of Uncle Koizumi had my back. So nobody actually read my grandfather's article? Did they just pretend to in order to make Uncle Koizumi happy? What is the meaning of everything I've done up until today? Nothing. You should... I thought I'd achieved something, but what have I really accomplished? I don't know what's going on, and all I can do is wallow in grief. The more I think about it, the more I no longer understand the meaning of my own life. Your life has no purpose! Didn't Miho Takano devote her life to being useful for her grandfather? Then I haven't done anything for him at all. Count 3 with my grandfather and I go on to count 4. What a crazy thing to say. No, if I let my mind wander, doubt about myself and my life will slip in. So I'm just going to fill the gap in my heart with alcohol. Is it that strange to presume the existence of something that can influence human thoughts? It's true that Higurashi syndrome isn't the actual cause of the ideology. The best it can do is drive people mad. Socialism or capitalism don't originate with it. In the era my grandfather was living, you couldn't talk about the world without ideology. The article came from that time and age, so some of its interference may be exaggerated or biased, but that's no reason to deny its foresight. You can't simply say it's crazy and push it aside. Besides, the most important thing they ignored is the fact that Rika Furude, the queen carrier, holds the fate of the village in her hands. My grandfather had predicted the importance and danger of the queen carrier since the beginning of his research on Hinomazawa syndrome. But the hypothesis of the infected community collapsing into madness if the queen carrier dies is a paradox's box that can't be proven. It can only be confirmed after Rika Furude's death, and if she dies, it'll be too late. But there's no mistake that Rika Furude is the queen carrier in a very special existence. It's clear from the various experiments we've performed that she has a special influence on the infected villagers. Her death really could trigger the collapse of the entire village. That's no mistake. My grandfather predicted it. To say all of that sounds like a comic book is just too cruel. For them to call the various preparations we've made to... Okay, I guess that's another reason she wants to fucking blow up the village, to prove that the queen carrier shit was real. Protect her fictional project that was used to tunnel funds. Or funnel funds. What I'm doing now is simply what my grandfather was going to do. Therefore, insulting my research is the same as insulting my grandfather. According to my grandfather's article, the first thing that needs to be done when researching the syndrome is to protect the queen carrier. Yet they ridiculed that more than anything else. The more I think about it, the more their words stick in my memory. I can almost hear their voices, and I can't stop myself from covering my ears. I'm sure the members of the board of directors think I'm crazy. I was trying to petition for the EDA Institute to not be shut down, but it backfired. The members must think that Hinomazawa syndrome is some kind of joke, and I'm sure they'll push even harder now to put a stop to our research. If that happens, I would have to go back to researching as an individual. In other words, the same as what my grandfather did. There's a limit to what an individual can do. It's doubtful if I would even be able to go back to researching it individually. Once the EDA Institute is disbanded, everyone is obligated to keep it confidential until we die. I signed a contract to that extent. That's not just a simple promise. If I were to break it, a special unit like the Mountain Dogs would come after me to ensure that I keep everything confidential. Even if that doesn't happen, the EDA Institute is to eradicate the syndrome within a few years and to bury every trace of it, including the results of our research. Hey, Dorothy vibrated. They were to tier 1. This isn't the normal process of a research and treatment. They want to pretend nothing ever happened to begin with. I wanted to continue and complete my grandfather's work, but what's happening now will result in the complete opposite. I'm actually helping to eliminate my grandfather's hard-earned research from this world. A treatment has been created already. Although EDA is as passionate as I am about developing a cure, he's not particularly interested in any other aspect of our research. I hate to admit it, but he has more experience and talent than I do. I'm sure he'll come up with a plan for eradicating Hinomazawa syndrome within 3 years as requested by the new board of directors. And that board of directors will provide just enough funds to bury the syndrome. EDA will do that happily. Just like the time when he disposed of all research data on test medicine H170 as was requested, all I can do is to passively hinder them, just like they did me, while watching the Hinomazawa syndrome get eradicated. And when everything is over, I will finally complete an article which is destined to be destroyed. So should I kill myself with thoughts of it in my head so I can at least present the article to my grandfather? He won't be happy even if I did that. On the contrary, he'll be disappointed in me for throwing the research he spent half of his life on down the drain. He won't embrace me, I know that for sure. I wanted to reveal Hinomazawa syndrome to the world. I wanted the world to acknowledge my grandfather's masterpiece. I wanted to carve his name in history and promote him to a god. My grandfather waited, believing that day would come. And he must be patiently waiting still, even after entering his eternal sleep. But I ruined it. I wanted him to become a god. I was going to become a god myself too. Then we will be together forever, and I'll never have to be alone. If I become a god, God won't test me. There won't be any unhappiness. There won't be a sudden train accident. My grandfather won't go away, nor will Uncle Koizumi. I'll never have to go back to being alone. I am alone. I have no allies. I was just dancing in ecstasy on a stage without anybody watching. I had only just realized that there was no applause, but only ridicule. No, it's doubtful that there was actually anyone in the audience to begin with. My parents died, my grandfather died, and then Uncle Koizumi died. 3 times had God toyed with me and with their rolls of the dice. I thought I overcame each of those trials with my own strength, but I didn't. I was protected by a new guardian each time, and this time I have no guardians left to protect me. When I first arrived in Hinomazawa, I had every intention of challenging God and kicking him off of his throne. But now, forget challenging God, I'm just a loser being played with. I suddenly can't find it within myself to care about anything. Because if I cared, I'd be swallowed by sadness. Soaking my heart in alcohol is all I can do to forget about everything. A luxurious black car abruptly stopped next to me. I became sober immediately, as cars like that remind me of the time when I was captured after escaping from the orphanage. Suspicious-looking men in black suits and sunglasses got out of the car. I realized it instantly. They must have been sent by one of my clients. Being involved in the development of a biological weapon, being the main person responsible for it, and on top of that being mentally unstable, they obviously don't want me walking around freely. They're going to abduct me, seal me in concrete, and erase my existence, or so I thought. I expected them to grab me and shove me into the car, but surprisingly they bowed deeply to me instead. Oh shit, here's the other faction.
無駄よね。でもただの飲んでくれの負け犬よ。
お会いしたい方がいらっしゃいます。どうか私たちにご同行いただけないでしょうか。
Oh shit.
拒否してもどうせ無理やり連れて行くつもりなんでしょう。
I'll be killed anyway. I can't make my grandfather's wish come true even if I live. Cynical thoughts like that ran through my head. Then the person in the back seat said,
無理にとは申しません。ですが、人さんそのお力になれると思っているんです。
A new player? I've never met this young man before. She must be around my age. She knows about the Idia Institute, so she must be somehow connected to my clients. She's too young to be one herself. I bet a client who doesn't want to expose himself sent her. Even if I live, I can't make my grandfather a god. I can't be a god myself either. Man, what do you mean? I said a new player, as in a new player in the game. Who cares about where a loser like me gets killed anyway? You said a new man? No, I didn't. What? Oh, wait, did I read the line wrong? Oh, my bad, whatever. I made up my mind and got into the back seat. As soon as I got in, the luxurious car smoothly took off. Silence filled the car for a time. They're the ones that invited me. I don't have anything to say myself.
ご無沙汰しております。おそらくご存知ないでしょうね。あら、そうでしたね。覚えていなくて申し訳ないです。
There were so many people at the funeral, I can't recall any of them. But why is it that she's why is that what she's opening with? Does that mean she belongs to the Koizumi faction?
小泉先生は戦後日本復興のオピニオンリーダーの一人として長く活躍されてきました。今日の平和日本を語る上で小泉先生の功績に触れずして説明することは難しいでしょう。戦後の焼け野原から復興するときは我が国の有志たちも一枚岩でしたが、残念ながら今もそうであるとは言えません。平和の時代が進み、焼け野原を知らぬ世代の国の中枢に入り始めるにつれ、当初の高貴な志を知る者は次第に減っていってしまいました。小泉先生はそんな高貴な同志の最後の長老として21世紀へ我が国を導いてくださる大黒柱だったのですね。小泉先生の死後、小泉派は急速に没落。代わって他の派閥が勢力を伸ばし、いろいろと大変なことになっている。
I heard about these things from Jiro-san. It's really no different from the Sengoku era. When a lord or military leader died back then, the struggle to become his successor brought chaos to the nation. This country hasn't changed for hundreds of years.
その通りです。残念ながら平和日本は住みよい国づくりを実践してきましたが、同時に発足当時の高貴な志を忘れさせてもしまいました。現在東京は各派閥が小泉先生の開けた席と利権をめぐって争いの絶えない状態です。小泉先生をはじめすでに他界されている復興の功労者たちが知ったら、それと私は、あなたはそれの最大の被害者ではありませんか。今日
It's true that our research began because of Koizumi Sensei's support. And the pressure we face under the anti-Koizumi faction have been tempestuous and cold. Maybe for them, every project that Koizumi Sensei left behind is an eyesore, regardless of what that project is. In other words, that simply means they rejected the research itself, doesn't it? Come to think of it, something like this happened to my grandfather too. Back then, Koizumi brought authorities from various fields to see him. They talked down to my grandfather despite the praise they'd given earlier. Koizumi Sensei told me that the masterminds were responsible for that.
ひなみ沢症候群の研究はアルファベットプロジェクトで最大のもので、予算、体制その他プロジェクトの目玉だったと言っても過言ではありません。ゆえにアルファベットの権益を独占したい連中によってあなたの研究はそのスケープゴートにされたのです。スケープゴート、決してひなみ沢症候群の研究が否定されたという意味ではないというか、彼らにとって重要なのはそのプロジェクトの派閥であり、結局私は見せしめの羊ということなのね。私が何の研究をしていようとどうでもいい、そういうことです。派閥は風向きそのもの。順風の時もあれば逆風となる時もあります。その変わった風向きを取り戻すのは私のクライアントたちが敵対的にな。そうです。アルファベットプロジェクトは完全に乗っ取られてしまいました。理事は全て止める。彼らの私欲を肥やすためだけに決定をしま
I
す。
grasped my knees. Remember
あな
that
たの捨て身
humiliating
の
day?
説明など初めからここで一度話をやります。え？それは研究者としての知的な好奇心か。あなたのソフトで経営していた高野先生との約束。
What's with these fucking loud ass booms? Well, that's surprising. Koizumi Sensei once told me that this factory could become a hindrance, so I've never told any of my clients about it. How did she find out? If they know that, maybe they know a lot more about us than I think.
どこでそれを知ったんですか？小泉先生からです。え？私たちはあなたの敵ではありません。どうかお楽になさってください。
I don't know who she really is, but I know she's here because she wants something from me. So what is it that she wants? She knows about the relationship between my grandfather and me, so I can't be careless.
ただ、私たちがあなたの力になるには、あなたに本当のことを話していただかなくてはなりません。つまり、腹を割っていただきたいということです。おっしゃる意味がわかります。高野さんが南沢症候群を研究する。
And my grandfather's masterpiece acknowledged for what it is, and to have him become a god.
高野先生の研究を世間に認めさせること。あなたの祖父が心を込めて書き上げた論文を踏みつけてないがしろにしたことは復讐。
I'm reaching the limit of not letting my surprise show on my face. How much does this woman know about me? In the first place, who is she? How does she know everything I'm thinking? I can't admit that out loud in any case. I have appearances to consider. But while this elegant woman was wearing an angelic smile, she laughed with a devil's seductive whisper several times better at it than I am. A simple smile and a devilish grin are completely different. An ordinary smile means goodwill, but a malicious smirk means the complete opposite. This woman can read my deepest thoughts, and while doing so, she's testing me to see how honest I can be with her. Whether I tell her the truth or not isn't the issue here. She's testing me to see if I can trust her enough to confess everything.
もしも私の言っていることが全くの勘違いでした。でも
Finally, the fucking
もし
ringtone.
私の言っていることがあなたの本当の気持ちに少しでも近いのでしたら、私とあなたは力を貸し合える関係になれると思います。
I can't say anything in reply, but I think that simply remaining silent might also be an answer. I want to hear what she wants from me. I've always phrased my objective as some vague idea of turning my grandfather into a god, but she just taught me what my true objective is. I want to get revenge for my grandfather's suffering. I want those people to fight over the right to read the article they once trampled on and mocked. I want them to believe, no, to worship every single word my grandfather left behind. That is my true objective. This woman has stated out loud that which I have only whispered within myself. She even asked me if she was correct. Is this woman an angel or a devil? If I'm a human, is she an existence above me?
あなたの不幸は自分の目的を具体的に理解していなかったことなのです。南沢症候群の神秘を探るという抽象的な目的を掲げ、いつまでも達成できず、 自らの人生に疑問を抱かざるを得なかった。そうでしょ。そう、それは違う。あなたの真の目的。夢はそんな抽象的なものじゃない。思い浮かべることができますか。それはこういう状況。この国の中枢を預かる真の長官たちはあなたの祖父の論文を読み、その彼らは裏側に足跡が残るその論文をうやうやしく読み、その先見性あふれる研究に敬意を示し、恐れをなめた。どう想像できましたかしら。
It's my first time envisioning something like this. And yet it's been my dream all along.
ひなみ沢症候群という言葉はあなたの祖父が作られたのでしょ。永遠に刻まれ残る。
Yeah, so it isn't Takano. It's this, whoever this bitch is that fucking brainwashed Takano.
そう、それはあなたの祖父がその偉業が永遠の存在に昇華されるということ。
My grandfather's masterpiece will be remembered forever.
あなたが高野美代として生涯に捧げるの。
Forever.
その偉業を全く理解できない豚たちはあなたのその夢を単なる派閥争いや権益の奪い合いの生贄とし、あなたの祖父の論文をぐっと見つけたように。あなたは悔しい。とても悔しい。あなたが一生懸命作った資料は、そう、あなたのおじいちゃんが一生懸命作った論文と同じ。おじいちゃんの偉業をバカにした豚どもが許す。そうでしょ。そうじゃないですか。本当にそう。それを心優しいあなたは人を罵る言葉を知らなくて。
An indescribable emotion is filling me, making me feel like I'm suffocating. The sensation of being cautious and calm, of trust and mistrust are all blending together. My heart is beating fast and my fingertips are shaking. Why am I at peace? Is it because she reminded me of my true dream that I couldn't express with my own words until now? Is it because she made me aware of the anger within myself? Why am I hesitant? Is it because she's reminded me of things I've never told anyone until now? No, those are the things I've never even told myself.
ミオさん、もし私の言ったことが間違っていないどころか大正解なんだ。どうなさったのかしら。大具合が悪いのかしら。違う。
A small noise leaked pathetically out of my mouth, like a child apologizing for a prank.
何かおっしゃったかしら。
I know she heard me. The woman smiled, trying to make me say it again.
具合悪くないです。ならよかったです。私の夢がそうならあなたに何ができるというんですか。あなたの2つの復讐をお手伝いします。一つはあなたの祖父のための復讐。あなたの祖父の論文を嘲笑った者たちに。もう一つはあなたと祖父の約束であり心のつながりでもある証拠。あなたの目の前で資料を踏みにじり、あなたの人生さえも踏みにじろうとした豚どもへの復讐。祖父の論文を手に取らず、それこちらも腹を割りますと、もちろんお手伝いをするのは私たちの利害が一致するからです。小泉先生が日本の未来のために立ち上げられたプロジェクトを先生亡き後に食い物にしようとする輩を放置することはできません。私たちにもっと力があればそのような輩の介入を許しはしないのですが、風向きは変わり、もはやプロジェクトは小泉先生の理想には戻りません。豚どもが私欲を肥やすための豚小屋となり果てました。そのようなプロジェクトを これ以上放置することが、アルファベットプロジェクトは小泉先生の理想を離れた時点で畳まれるべきなのです。派閥争いの生贄羊を、今度はあなたが今のまま生涯公開できぬ祖父の論文を胸に隠居されることを選ぶおつもりでしたら、無理にとは申しません。
No, I won't let that happen. I don't mind falling to the ground myself, but at least my grandpa's article.
あなたとおじいちゃんの結晶である論文を永遠のものにはしたくないですか？それは
Who is
だ
this
って
bitch?
あなたの念願のはずじゃないのですか？
Ow, my fucking ears.
それが私の生きる目的。あなたの本当の夢を叶えるチャンスを私たちがお手伝いします。
On a night I decided I was a loser in life and drowned myself in tears and alcohol after being abandoned by everything. I met someone who could be an angel or a devil. Is this divine salvation or the devil's seduction? I fought with the board of directors regarding the continuation of her research, but that was completely off target. That wasn't my true goal. My objective isn't to continue researching Hinozawa syndrome. It's to have the world acknowledge my grandfather's research as a masterpiece. Somehow, the method for achieving that swapped places with my objective and caused me to misunderstand myself. The purpose of my life isn't to continue my grandfather's research. It's to get revenge and repay them for my grandfather's suffering. That's what this woman is saying. She's promising to make my grandfather's research eternal. She's also promising an opportunity to take revenge against those who laughed at it. When Uncle Koizumi died, I thought God was playing dice with my fate, but my unshakable conviction gathered together a power stronger than God's die. So maybe this meeting happened for a reason. Curse you, God, you're testing me again. I will overcome the death of Uncle Koizumi, and I will make my grandfather an eternal existence by taking revenge against the God who tested me. I will for certain. I will take my revenge. Holy booms! These motherfuckers! Alrighty. Well, chat. We are almost there. Huh. I don't really know where to go from here. We don't have the Ryugu family move yet. We don't have the Maibara family thing. Maybe this? Alright, we'll see. We will see tomorrow. Did you pull for Varka? Yeah, I did 110 roll. I didn't get him, so. Okay, chat. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Thank you guys for hanging out. Good night, everybody. Outdody, your paws hurt. Why are your claws hurt like that? Good night. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Thank you guys. Bye-bye. Look at this little rat back there. What are you doing? Huh?